Hello, my name is Johan Falk. I work at NodeOne Scandinavia, and this is a fine day in Stockholm, and we are recording number 14, I think, of the rules screencasters, where we're learning the rules framework. In this episode, we're going to look at rules scheduler. In this chapter, we're looking at scheduler. This will be 2 or 3 episodes, and then we'll look at, I think, views bulk operations. Both of these work with rules components in pretty interesting ways. Before starting, I, as usual, want to mention the Drupal Learning Library and the book we're selling at Amazon.com, and there that is done. So, Rule Scheduler, if you go into Modules and Views, well, not Modules and Rules section, you can find Rule Scheduler here. Rule Scheduler is a module that allows you to schedule evaluation of rules components. That means not executing them right off, but having them called later on when cron runs and a certain time has passed. So we're gonna look at this and try to implement this as a way of something I think is called comment closer, a module on brutal.org. No, okay. Oh, here it is. It closes the comments for a node after a certain time. All right. So I'm going to implement this on my site, saying that after 2 weeks, it should no longer be possible to comment, say, articles, because articles is the only content type right now that is by default commentable. To do this, you will need a new component. Rule Scheduler works with components only, so you need a component that removes the commentability on a node. Since we want to check that it is an article, well, maybe we don't even have to check that. We can do that at the trigger. Let's just make an action set that removes the commentability of a node. Okay, so I'm adding an action set here, no conditions being run. Make a node uncommentable, close comments on a node. That's probably better. Tags, no tags right now. This will need one parameter, one variable called node, machine name node. And I haven't really commented this thing here. Provided means that the component provides a parameter rather than requires one. So it does something and then sends this provided variable back. It can do both, apparently. I don't really know how that should be interpreted, but who knows. Continue. Alright, add an action. This is again one of the cases where you want to use set a data value. You can look pretty long here before finding something that allows you to close the comments on a node, but it's found in the data values. Thanks to Entity API and the data handling and rules, you can fetch this looking at the node. Rules knows that this is a node object, and there is something called comments allowed, node comment. Continue. Set this to, and this is apparently a 1-0 thing. It could be a boolean, but it's not for some reason. I could switch to data selection here, and then I get to dig around to find some number thingy here. Oh, I know why it's not a boolean. It's not a 1-0 thing. It can also be hidden, which open, closed, or hidden. I think 0 is closed and -1 probably is hidden. You'll have to try that yourself if you want to. Alright, so it sets a node commentability to 0, and that's it. Now let's actually make the interesting thing here. Go over to rules, add ourselves a new rule that will act on comment creation, because we will have something scheduled 2 weeks after it has been created. So I'm gonna call this actions when new articles are posted. React on the event after saying new content, save. This is a good way of managing rules, if you haven't heard me saying that before, that you bunch all of them, of a node, particular node type together, because you pretty often have quite a lot of things happening on node saves. And instead of having one rule for all of these, you can put them into components and call them from one single reaction rule, which is a good thing. Okay, after saving new content, add a condition is we're going to check the content type here. Content is of type article, save. We could check the commentability as well, see if it's set to 1, in that case schedule a closing of the comments, but let's not do that right now. Articles, actions. Here is now the magic. And rule scheduler, schedule component evaluation. All right, we get to select a component. We cannot schedule, I think, condition sets, only rule sets, rules components and action sets, but I'm not completely sure about that. It doesn't make sense to schedule evaluations though. Close comments on a node, select this, and here we get something interesting. Here's the cool parts of it. Number one, we should select a scheduled evaluation date, and we can do type anything that is interpreted by string to time, which means that we could type something like +2 weeks. We could use data selection here, which means that we can have a data selector in a broken interface, and also add an offset to that, which is really useful. Let's just use +2 weeks here. Then second thing here is the identifier. This is really important, because this will kind of be the key with which this task is stored. So if you don't, well, you should make it unique for this task. If you don't, then you'll overwrite older tasks, and that's not really good. Close comments for node, and here I'm gonna just take the node ID. There. That means that we can only have one scheduled comment closing for each node, which makes sense. And we should select the node to send as a variable to this component, which is the node being saved. Right, save. Cool. We're going to try this, see that this works in 2 different ways. Number one, I'm going to create a new article. I'm going to call it close my comments. Give it some dummy text just to make the site richer. Here. Now the rule should have been scheduled. The evaluation should be scheduled. Let's check that out. You can do that going to configuration, workflow, rules, schedule. And I need the views module to see this because it's rules dependent, views dependent, and that is a good thing. So let's do that. Feels like I've done this before, forgetting to enable views. Oh, that's probably, no. Oh, never mind. Alright, and there we are. Reload the page, and we should get a list of this one. Rules, close comments on a node, close comments for node 51. Alright, so far it works, and it is now Thursday of the Thursday 22nd September, and it's scheduled for the 6th of October. So this means it is probably 2 weeks ahead from now. I can delete this manually if I want to. Now I'm going to make sure that this works in another way. Here is close my comments thing. Where are my components? Here. It's node 51, and I can try executing this manually. Close comments on a node, execute, and I can try to use data selection here, which will be difficult. Direct input mode is much easier. And specify the identifier for a node, which is number 51, and execute. And I will now see if this works the way it should by reloading the page, and I can no longer write comments to this one. Sweet! So this kind of works. You can see here also, this is interesting, that I can schedule this. I don't have to trigger this by reaction rules or something. I can do this manually as well. This is new for Drupal 7, very useful. And there were some quirky things in Drupal 6 when you had to like set a flag or something just to start a scheduling and then destroy the flag again. Here you can Well, let's reschedule this for 2 weeks from now. Identifier, I'm gonna put this in here as well. Oh, what was it? Close comments for node. I'm just gonna call this node 51. Direct input mode, node 51, schedule. Alright, has been scheduled. Let's have a look at it. I should have shown this one. Ah, wow. Okay, it seems I'm pretty wrong here. We have a dot here as well. Okay, let's make sure that the old one disappears when I schedule a new one with the same name. I'm copying that one, scheduling this one again. Let's put it to +1 week instead, so we can clearly see a difference. Let's actually, yeah, it's all good. Identifier is this, no trailing space, thank you, and the node is node 51 in this case, schedule. Alright, so this should now change. Yes, okay, and we now have 2, not 3 scheduled tasks. And it's as task ID 3, not 1. Cool. All right. So this is rule scheduler basics. It means, well, in summary, you have components. You have to have components for scheduling rules. You schedule those either manually, which is kind of a very special case, or you have them triggered by reaction rules, which is a pretty common case. When doing that, you must where are we? Editing reaction rule. Here it is. When you do that, you set a scheduled date, which can be set with string to time, which means it's very flexible. You can also use data selection and combine that with an offset, as we will see in future screencasts. You must set a unique ID for the task to keep it separate from other tasks. And you provide, as usual, as expected, the variables to the rules component when scheduling it. This is then saved away, and the nodes and stuff, the parameters, are loaded when the rule is executed later on, the component is executed. And that's pretty sweet. That's it for this screencast. I'll see you in the next one, and then we will look at working with fields and schedule evaluation. See you there.